Good morning, Tuesday, April 23, 5:16 a.m. over there on the East Coast. And it's Taco Tuesday, but it's got a little bit of a twist to it. So don't go trying to put too much salsa on that old algorithm of Taco Tuesday sell down. Don't go trying to front load over there and getting any puts because we are still in recovery mode. Very good day yesterday. 20-point gap up, very nice. Came down almost perfectly, filled that gap almost perfectly. 69-point range. Closed above the open, above the close, got that green close, and more significantly, got that plus 1% that we were talking about. I threw that out there at 5 o'clock in the morning, 5 a.m. And again, knowing that there was a gap, 20-point gap, patience, patience, patience. One of the things I put out there very early, let the trade come to you. Well, just so happened to be that plus 1% over there at 50.15, as we got that dip in the morning, filling that gap, those contracts went to $1. They peaked at $24.90. So you have $2,390 maximum profit on every $100 that you put out there at risk.
Let the dogs out!
And the only one who I can go pat on the back is, there she goes, the dentist, SPX scalper. She was in the 50-15 1% calls from $1, took them off at 17. And that was as, like I said, the 0 DTE IWMs, those 195 calls, 20 cents, $1.20 at the time. Let's see how they did on the day because I did not follow it after that. But IWM 240422 call 195 and $1.30. Not so bad. Wanted to pay attention to those IWMs because these are in the 195s. I haven't traded the QQQ sub 200 calls for a better part of 5 years because QQQ hasn't been below 200 for the better part of 5 years. We like IWM. We like it a lot. And I'm going to dedicate a lot of attention and a lot of time to IWM because we track it and trade it already. So come over here onto our SPX and our credit spreads, starting off on the Sunday email, talking about the Monday risk trade, 49.60, 49.65 puts getting $2. And then the email yesterday morning, already seeing that those were down to $1 and looking at the extreme risk because 49.91 is our problem. 49.85, 49.90, they were getting $2. They got a better than 250 intraday as we got that dip in the day. And where are we? There we go. 49.85, 49.90s, 250 on 250. That's 100% on your money. So QQQ, this is the weak. This is the weak spot. Okay, this is still the weak spot. And this is where it's all at. Everything is inside the QQQ. And as we are going into big earnings this week, starting off this afternoon after the close with Tesla, then we get Meta after the close on Wednesday, then we get Microsoft and Apple after the close on Thursday. We're halfway through the big weight of the QQQ and an enormous amount of backup singers on the QQQ that are going to be reporting this week. So it's a big week, and next week is equally as big with a lot of that coming down. And here on the QQQ, 421, very nice. Still looking for that move higher into that 425 area. So QQQ, big day yesterday, very nice day yesterday. Still a lot of upside to be taken. 499.72. Actually got it right this time. So I bring you on to your charts really quick because overnight it has been very flat. Flat overnight. We are over here on the Dow. The Dow, 14 points. very flat overnight after having taken out last week's highs on the bounce yesterday. Still very much below the 20-day and 50-day moving averages. But again, the Dow, as I shared, is the strong point as of now. Here's your NQ futures, your NQ right to that 17,420 that I put over there in the futures room for you. Boom, boom. Triple bottom is what I'm seeing here on the 2023 highs down there at 17,165.25. Recovery process. Looking at yesterday's highs, first and foremost, and then the first major accomplishment will be the move up there to 17,630. I see that, again, needing a day or 2 days in order to get that done. 20-day, 50-day, well above last week, Tuesday's highs. So over here onto the ES, again, nice little shakeout over here on the ES, nice little move to the upside, and we got to the minimum level where we're at right now on this very flat overnight, right at 50-50, having had an enormously fantastic day yesterday. Today, it will be that high from yesterday, 50.77, that everything is going to be focused on. And once 50.77 can not only be broken, but also be supported on, then we can start focusing our attention on that 51.05. Looking at last week, Tuesday's resistance over here prior to the open, intraday, and the very open there on Wednesday. So to bring that into SPX terms, if you don't know how to translate that, we would be looking there at that 50.56, which is how I've discussed that being the problem area, that 50.56. So we bring on over to the Russell. And again, the Russell, nice recovery, absolutely excellent. But now we're coming into a resistance spot right over here at this 1999. And that's what's playing out on your IWM, which we will go and have a look at right now as we track out. Great day yesterday, bang, 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 and right up to that 196.30. Now we're back onto this 194.85. So once again, the 195s will be the focus point if you are going to be 0DTEing on the QQ, on the IWM. We'll see how things look as we get into the open. We're not looking very negative on a technical point of view for the Russell 2000 from a 1 hour view. It is a little bit weak on the futures, so I do suspect that we will get a move down here to around 194. So let's see if that 194 actually produces and we can get a move on up. SPX, again, nice move up there. Virtually filled this gap. It's 1.5 points. I'm not going to draw it on there as a gap. 50.27, right up onto it, closed below it, not good. But what we're looking at is that move up to that big problem area, the big problem at 50.54, and then start working our way back up to that 50.80, 50.75 area. 49.91, as we shared late last week, being the problem, that now has to prove itself from a support point of view. And bring you down here again onto the QQQ, looking at the QQQ from a very zoomed in point of view. Still not to 421.63, still very far off of 426.93, and very, very far off of not only 430, but where we started to resist, which was support for multiple weeks, more than a month. This fucking sucks line at 433.50. So euphorically looking upside into next week, 433.50. So the pricing on 433.50 for next week, you want to be looking at strikes that are much, much lower than that. And I'll even put that in your email for you so that you don't have to be told, stand in front of the urinal, unzip your pants, pull your dick out, pee, shake, put it back in, flush, wash your hands.
Baseball trick shots. Wait.
You don't need those instructions. I'll put it in the email and show you what the pricing looks like. And if you want to play that 433.50, this is the one that you are best off with. So Tesla reporting earnings tonight. Very interesting because here you are looking at this from a wide view, looking at it from 30 days. Here's your 200-day moving average. Way up here where that resistance trend line is now falling down to. 50-day moving average, a little bit more realistic, right over here to your 30-day highs, right above 175, with 184.25 being the 30-day highs. And as I shared, we came right down to that big major trend line. I'm not a trend line guy, but I do use it for notifications for drunk bumps. The Tesla earnings tray and the email that went out on it, it's completely up to you. I do honestly see that Tesla could come out with a shocker, be the catalyst to start out earnings, to start out the QQQ revival. And I could see Tesla showing up here on Wednesday morning, tomorrow, Wednesday, not today, Tuesday, not yesterday, Monday, tomorrow, Wednesday, up above 165. That's what I could see happening. So we'll see how we go on that. But going back in time and going back into the reality world, here is Citigroup, and I will take off the 200-day moving average because it's inapplicable. And as we have already traded Citigroup as a 32 trade, and as you saw off of that spike here on earnings, got a little bit better than 250% on that full ride. It's $4. Very, very nice move down here to this 57.40. And now here we are breaking up above 60. And a couple of you have chimed in and started asking, about Citigroup. I don't like it yet. I don't think it's ready yet. I think that you've still got a lot of ability to let this patiently work its way up back into that 61, into that 63, which was actually the trigger there, that 62, 63 that we pushed into. And then we see how Citigroup looks. And instead of being the May, I would look out to the June. I might even look out to the Julys, still using that 60 for the breaking point over there. So that's where we're at. That's what we got. IWM, 0 DTEs. We like it. We like it a lot. It's Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. You are the most glorious fat piece of shit in your life. Embrace yourself, look in the mirror and say, God damn, you look gorgeous, because you still got 4 more days this week before Saturday comes.